In the headlines, Range Development invests $100,000 in the development of Portsmouth youth. Local stakeholders to help shape CAT's agenda for the next year. And the humanitarian aid ship Pacific Hope on a 3-year volunteer mission to Dominica. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps lors qu'un sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou à gros danger. Ou ka exposer tout partenaire au poison et que tant qu'il a vini avec maladie. Servez yon condom chaque fois ou ka ni sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners. Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more. Smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, an institution which helps to prepare young people for the world of work has received $100,000 from a corporate citizen to go towards reconstructing its building post-Hurricane Maria. The Portsmouth-based center where adolescents learn to love and serve, CALLS, provides opportunities for youth around the island aged 16 to 22 years. Range Development, which is constructing the Kempinski Resort in Cabritz, Portsmouth, is engaged in several social outreach programs in the community and on Wednesday donated $100,000 towards reconstruction works at CALLS. Development Director of Range Development, Kamal Shehada, encouraged those at CALLS to have a hands-on approach to this project, even though the work is being undertaken by another organization.
We are starting with what I call it, with the construction of the roofs here, which is the third roof, as I believe. But I hope this one will last more, because we are used to Maria and we are used to C+. So we are here to start this work, and as I said, it's only the start. Nevertheless, what I hope to see and what I wish to see, to come and see our students or our guys here and their families working. Both, all of them are working. I think the families especially have big responsibility in teaching how children, and they have to do it themselves so they learn from them. You know, you are their idols. Come and work. Come and work. Even carrying a nail, come and work.
Mayor of Portsmouth, Titus Francis, says Range's contribution towards CALLS showcases its commitment to Dominica's move towards climate resilience.
It is significant that at this point in our development, having been hit by a Category 5 monster, that Range Development has outlined, has exhibited what the country now has as its buzzword, which is resilience. And the hotel is back on stream, under construction, moving full speed ahead. And even for the students at CALLS, I want to implore that through the program at CALLS, you should make every effort to see how best you can relate what you learn in the hope that you can become employees at the Kempinski Hotel, or even as service providers. You could go into vegetables, into crafts, whatever the program is that gears you towards developing self-reliance and being able to feed, to provide a service to the hotel.
Director of CALLS, Olivia Douglas, says the establishment welcomes this assistance from Range Development.
So we got an evaluator who evaluate damages of their house and of this building. And of this program, the amount of $301,750. I said, I said to Miss Jean, this is where perhaps we're going to part company, because we don't even have money to pay the staff. We had a little bit of fixed deposit, which was for accident, in case our troublesome student had got their hands cut or something like that and needed that kind of thing. But we had to break it so as to help the staff. So today, we are here to receive $100,000 as the beginning to replace this new roof, and it's a good start, because a roof over our head, we will get further.
Calls, a non-profit organization, came into existence in April 1995. In other top stories, members of non-governmental organizations, the private sector, government agencies, and the media met for a working session on Thursday to set the agenda for Phase 2 of the CATS program. CATS is the acronym for Caribbean Aquaterrestrial Solutions. It operates under the St. Lucia-based Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA. CATS invests in the protection of natural resources in Caribbean countries. CARICOM and Germany made the agreement to invest in this program to protect the region's natural resources. In Dominica, CATS has made interventions in the development of the legal and organizational framework for the Soufriere-Scottsted Marine Reserve. It has also set up a sustainable finance mechanism, plus a communication strategy and a plan to manage the marine environment sustainably. Head of Environmental Health and Sustainable Development Department, CARPHA St. Lucia, is Lyndon Robertson.
We are entering the Phase 2 operational planning, and it would be a stakeholders consultation. It is very informal, and we are looking forward to the input and participation of everyone. We would be guided by the priorities you set, and we are hoping that this would come out from you. Not only the government agencies, but we put a lot of emphasis in non-governmental agencies, community-based organizations, and initiatives that will build climate resilience at the level of the community. What is important for us also is the development of public-private partnerships, and we are looking forward to some initiatives in that regard as we go forward on the Phase 2.
Based on requests made under Phase 1 and Hurricane Maria, Dominica will receive priority under Phase 2.
So what we need is the holistic approach for our programming as we go forward, setting our priority areas and knowing how to go about doing it. So it is a working session we are having, and we expect everything to come from you. It will be consultative because we have different players. So what we expect is to have consensus on what are the priority areas and to guide our investment in what would benefit Dominica at the national and community level mostly.
The CATS program is a collaboration between the German International Development Corporation and the Caribbean Public Health Agency. Dominica was one of 5 focus countries in the Eastern Caribbean under Phase 1 of the program.
I pray and hope here today that coming from this workshop, I don't know if Mr. Lyndon wants me to give the figures that CATS wants to spend within the Dominica community, but from what I understand, CATS was able to source the funds. I don't know where they are now, but they're somewhere around, and certainly attention will be given to some major development projects in the Dominican community. And permit me to say this because the international community needs to hear this. Our marine entity within Soufriere is considered the second most prestigious, and I echo this, the second most prestigious marine entity in the entire world. We, within the SSMR, the Soufriere-Scottsted Marine Reserve, we have been one of the most fortunate benefactors of the CATS program. We receive boat engine, we receive FADS, a program kicked off with the school, where the school was adopted, and also the management capacity of the local marine entity, that too also was certainly empowered. And one of the things that you need to appreciate is that when you have the planning process of putting proposals together and putting together plans to recover a country from what has happened with us with Maria, seeing that we are on a pursuit, and our goal is to become the most climate resilient country. CATS have shown that they are on board with us in Dominica, and they are taking the lead in this process.
The two-day country workshop ends on Friday. On the political scene, the new UWP candidate for the Roseau Central constituency says he is consulting with his constituents to present a detailed plan for the development of the city. Glenroy Coffey says he has been doing his groundwork since he declared his intention to contest the next general elections.
We've done a lot of work. Up to this Sunday, we went to the infirmary, we gave them a hamper. We felt that was a good contribution to the already food stock that they had. And the people enjoyed that. We went to the Grotto home, we gave a hamper. We keep our mothers together, we had a nice outdoor Mother's Day. So we are keeping our people warm. I'm visiting the people, I'm listening to them, and with their sentiments expressed, I will be developing a plan. I will be dovetailing a plan in their interest. So the people, by interacting with them, whether it's interpersonal, whether it's in group, we will get information and we will put a plan that is going to move the people forward, that is going to elevate them. There are so many things that are undone, and most of what has been said before, I think they have not been implemented. Look at it. When rain falls in Roseau, the drains are still very much blocked, and Roseau floods. That needs to be addressed. Bringing a new plan is important, but we must take care of that. Look at the bridge up by the stadium. This bridge needs attention. Either you demolish the bridge or you find some other way, because the river, when it overflows its banks, will always flood Roseau. We need the retaining walls higher up River Street to be heightened so that water can stay within the control path. So there are a lot of things that we can do. In fact, there are a lot of empty houses in Roseau that really in dilapidated state, and they are not in a sort of sanitary conditions. We need to brighten them up, give Roseau a new face. But I have new plans, which I'll be sharing with you all later. But all these things that I've said there are important so that Roseau can have a new face.
In other developments, just days before the start of the new hurricane season, one of the oldest buildings in the city still lacks repairs coming out of Hurricane Maria.
The 121-year-old Dominica Trade Union building in Lagon was shaken up pretty badly by Hurricane Maria, but is still standing. And according to Bernard Nicholas, there was a lot of water damage, but to date there's been no investment made in repairing the building, leaving it among the most vulnerable to a natural disaster.
Maria gave us a devastating blow. Very devastating, deadly. Because up till now, I have not been able to make contact with our international or regional body. I can't find the address. Everything is in the computer. And the hard copies that I have got all wet. I save a few files, they are there, but I have to look, because those I saved in a rush. Because when I came and I saw the amount of water and the place, everything fall down, holes. So I had to save what I could. But as it's wet, then it stick on one another. So those over the weeks, that's what I've been doing since hurricane. I come here and I try to clean out and go carefully, try not to destroy. But some of them are so stuck hard to each other that they have to be destroyed. And some of the valuable documents are destroyed.
The significance of repairing and preserving this building could be lost on anyone who fails to see its historical significance. The Dominica Trade Union is responsible for the formation of most, if not all, of our political parties. Bernard Nicholas explains why a building of such historical significance has not received post-Hurricane Maria assistance.
We have made an application to the government. We sent it in already. But there are so many things going on. To be honest, I just feel, well, perhaps the government is looking at other priorities. And I could understand that quite clearly. But this office, I could say, if this nothing is done, I don't see it able to stand another hurricane. Not even.
We're about to enter June now.
Yes, no, but hurricane is next week, as far as I'm concerned. The season is like next week. Now, I could only hope and pray that I don't think anybody in Dominica can afford another hurricane, far less for this building.
Nicholas says prior to Hurricane Maria, there were plans including costing to replace the current building with a two-story structure. But he says the DTU does not have the money to build the required structure, and borrowing from the bank is not a desirable option.
When you look at the materials, they are rotten. We do not want to put galvanized on these things, new galvanized on it again. Whereas it is strong. The whole thing, roof has to come down. Once you start working on one part, the other part will come down. And this is what we're afraid. So we don't want to tackle one side unless we can get the whole thing to come down and to build up a proper structure, keep the original, thing. Whether we do it in concrete, make it stronger, but at the front, we'll keep the original thing and the roof and so on and so on. There are things we will keep. And to have a museum and to have other facilities for the youth.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. We will have more after the break.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
Thomas Enterprises on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth is proud to present its new line of automotive paints, Global Refinish System. Yes, a new line of automotive paints developed to protect and care for your vehicle. It's a compact system with excellent color matching capabilities, formulas with superior hiding performance, renowned durability tested to high standards. Come to Rudolph Thomas Hardware for all your automotive paint supplies. Call 445-5181 today.
Welcome back. A humanitarian organization has pledged to be on island for 3 years, doing some much-needed volunteer work in the country. The humanitarian aid ship Pacific Hope is docked in the town of Portsmouth and has already started doing roof repair works in the country. Captain of the Pacific Hope says the organization is committed to helping Dominica recover in its time of need.
So we have construction teams right now today working on putting roofs on homes here in the community. We've already roofed a couple of houses now. We are working on the pier here in Portsmouth, along with Range Development, helping us and partnering there. And we're going to come and we're going to try to put on a roof that will not blow away here. And we are going to stay here in Dominique for the next 3 years and assist. So you will see that white boat sitting out here for quite some time.
Pacific Hope is helping the country in other areas beyond the construction.
And we have around 55 volunteers on board. We offer dental care, and for anyone that needs dental treatment, anything of that sort, we have dentists on board right now. Some in this room have experienced it, and they have gone for free dental care. We have doctors on board to come and work in the communities to help relieve the pressure of the neighborhoods and health and so forth. As we know, there's a shortage of nurses and doctors, so we're here to team up and help relieve that.
Pacific Hope brings with it a total of 55 volunteers from 14 countries to carry out humanitarian work here. The institution has also been engaged for the re-roofing project on calls in Portsmouth. The capacity of the electrical division to certify properties to be connected with power will depend on whether those buildings have roofs. Senior electrical engineer at the electrical division, Fitzroy Williams, says buildings with compromised roofs will not pass inspection for certification.
Most homeowners are without a roof or still without a roof, and we can't do anything with, we don't inspect houses with tarpaulins. So you have to have a proper roof, and your electrical has to be done, your installation has to be properly done.
The public was warned that their buildings and homes must be recertified before they can be connected to the electrical grid.
Maybe your roof didn't go, but you got water, and every electrical installation may have been compromised. So you don't want to take a chance of reinstalling power to any installation that has not been certified. You have to be sure that everything is okay. There are no short circuits, there are no open circuits. You have to make sure that the earth, the ground, and everything is good before you connect, because you don't want accidents happening. You don't want somebody getting electrocuted. So every installation has to be recertified.
Williams says his department has not set a target for recertification, since that will depend on Domlec's restoration works.
As you would know, they are working feverishly in that regard, but there are still areas on island that are not connected to the grid. So that is one aspect of it that will hinder basically our progress. With the electrical division and Domlec, we work collaboratively to get installations reconnected. Without us, Domlec can't connect anything. So we have to do the preliminary works, go in there and do the inspection, certify. It's only after certification Domlec can come in.
And the head of the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union is stressing the need for greater sensitization of the public on the existence, role, and significance of the trade union movement.
Leah Shillingford spoke to Channel 5 News against the background of a low-key May Day rally at WOW headquarters earlier this month. For many years now, local trade unions have been observing May Day celebrations on an individual basis. It does not appear that any effort is being made to unite in celebration of May Day, at least not entirely. To be fair, DAO, WOW and DAT collaborated, though in a limited way, for this year's May Day rally. Shillingford has been a strong advocate for larger populations to participate in the May Day rally and not just a select few.
40 years ago, things was different. The whole nation was participating. The unions did join together, we came together, and we also had the participation of other leaders from the outside world, Latin and Central America and the Caribbean. Guyana, I remember very well. We had some eloquent speakers that came in and spoke on Labor Day. We were not confined within the four walls. It was at the Windsor Park, and I remember those days. It was beautiful. We started with a celebrated high mass with all of the different evangelicals and the bishop at the Windsor Park. So we started with a church service, we prayed, and then we went into the speeches. And it was very good. And after that, we had, it was fun and fair. So we had all the booths. I remember all the booths. We purchased food, we ate, and we drank. So it was a day out in the Windsor Park. It was beautiful. And for many years, it was like that.
The level of complacency by employers and employees toward May Day celebrations or trade unions today is a far cry from what obtained 40 years ago. Shillingford suggests it could be because a lot of the heavy lifting involved in getting unions established and respected was done years ago.
From then to present, it has now become low-key. Why? Because, again, the public needs to know what is labor, how it started. Why do we have a Labor Day? And we know that 8 men did lose their lives for the 40 hours of work that we are benefiting today, and the other benefits that we are receiving today. ILO speaks now more about decent work. So we want to ensure that the workers in employment, they have a good salary, they can take care of their families, that there's free association for being a member of a union. All of that exists now. We do also have the collective labor agreements with the employers. So now we are comfortable. We negotiate every 3 years and some are every 2 years. So now that we have the collective labor agreement, workers and employers are comfortable. We have taken a back seat. We're now relaxing.
Shillingford believes in spite of these accomplishments, the significance of May Day cannot be erased and therefore must be observed. She says there are still countries where forced labor and exploitation of children exists.
In Latin America, I think, I saw a news edition, I think on DNO recently about child labor. Mexico, Paraguay, and somewhere else. Child labor, 5.7 million children are working from age 5. So we need to understand that Labor Day is important, not because we are happy here in Dominica and first to relax, but in solidarity with the rest of the world. We need to be patriotic and we need to celebrate that day. It's very important. So again, yes, we need to sensitize the entire nation of Dominica because we cannot be complacent and it cannot just be a holiday. I recognize that the entire country was shut down for that one day. The entire country, just for a few unionized people to participate. So here, yes, like you have rightly said, each union doing his own thing.
To end the news, the headlines again. Range Development invests $100,000 in the development of Portsmouth youth. Local stakeholders help shape CAT's agenda for the next year. And the humanitarian aid ship Pacific Hope on a 3-year volunteer mission to Dominica. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.